So when you use Unity, okay, just open up a script over here and it will open up mono develop. I mean, you can also use JavaScript in mono develop, but most people use C#. Okay, so for Unity, you can build games for the web, for PC, for Mac, and for Linux. Okay, you can also build for iPhone, which is iOS, Android, BlackBerry, and also for PlayStation Mobile and Windows Phone 8. Okay, for PlayStation and Xbox, you will have to partner with them to officially do so, to officially build games for the consoles. VB6, not exactly though. Okay, my Visual Basic is kind of rusty, but okay, if I recall, in Visual Basic you usually do something like dim something as something. Okay, but in C# it's more, you could consider it a blend between Java and C++. So in C# you would do something like this instead. So in that sense, it might be more similar to Java or C++. Okay, wait, then delete object. Are you using mainly Xcode for now? Hey Bakoto, Yokoso, White Sponge, no live stream I just said that because I assume that you are Japanese. Oh cool. Xcode is cool as well because that was where I came from. So it's really fun when you start making games with Xcode as well. Okay, the only downside of Xcode The only real downside is that it's limited to iOS and Mac. Yeah, so I actually have a few iPhone/iPad games already on the App Store. Not a lot though, I think around 5, I think. Yeah. Okay, mostly are casual games with one RPG game. Okay, needless to say, the RPG game took me the longest to create. Okay, you can search for white sponge. Okay, you can search for white sponge on iTunes. So by doing so, you can most likely you will be able to find the games that I've made. Okay, so the main source when I started making iPhone games, they are advertisements and in-app purchases. Okay, but since I moved on from that, okay, now my main source of income are paid revenue. So now, okay, that means that I actually make games that you have to pay to download. In a sense, I sort of stopped making free games. Okay, besides the RPG that I mentioned, most of the other iPhone/iPad games are rather small casual games. Yeah, those are two of the few games that I have made for iOS. Okay, so Viper, in regards to your question, okay, it's better to have some backup savings. And also, if you want to start making games, if using Xcode, okay, you might be limited to just iOS, and the iOS, in fact, both the iOS and the Android app stores are pretty much quite saturated. At the moment, and so it's not easy to stand out, as there are a lot of other game developers out there in the world. Okay, so there are a lot of tutorials on the internet. Okay, so when I first started making iPhone/iPad games, okay, I learned a lot from doing. At least that's how I learn. So one website that I find really useful is Ray's website, which is okay. Let me show you. Okay, Ray's website is a good starting place if you want to start making games, especially iOS games. Okay, there are a lot of tutorials over here. Okay, so if you're using Unity, there are even some Unity tutorials over here on this website. If I recall, there should be some Unity tutorials. Yep. So besides Ray's website, there are a huge ton of other tutorials on the web. Sure, just give me a moment to type it out. Oh, okay, so that's cool. So if you have access to resources that the school provides, that's good. So you really have to make use of those, as once you graduate, okay, you have to find everything by yourself. Okay, let's hope this works. Okay, let me pause the iTunes music. Okay, so now when I press S to activate the special skill, okay, so I think I'm destroying the objects too early. So let's change that. Scatter explosion. Okay, let's try fading the effect out right from the start. Oh, run. So if I press S, hey, thanks man Viper. I really appreciate it. Okay, by the way, you can also follow the channel so that you will know when I go on live. Okay, let's try without deleting the effects. Since the game is complaining about the objects getting deleted. Oh, did I not? Time and time. Oh, okay. So I know what went wrong. Okay. Okay, we did not move the object to where we need it to be at. So that was why we did not see anything appear. Okay, now we should at least see some sort of effect. You know, sometimes when you hold on your mouse for too long, so when we press S, okay, when we press S, okay, so we need to push them upwards even more. We need to increase the force that we apply to them. Okay, as the gravity is rather high. Okay, so if I press S, okay, okay, let's go even higher so that we can have a motion where it goes when the projectile hits the ground. The effects will come out. Okay, S, and S. Okay, so that is almost what we want. Okay, but we don't want it to go, we want it to go upwards but not towards that huge of a wave. Okay, so let's reduce the force we apply on the x-axis, but we keep the same amount of force on the y-axis. And let's increase the number of sticks. Okay, once we get the animation right, we can move on to getting the nearby enemies and making them stun. Okay, when we press S, okay, so that is almost what we need. Okay, when we press S, okay, notice that the projectile does not actually do anything to the enemies for the moment. Okay, it will be what comes after that stuns the enemies. Okay, just checking OBS. Okay, now let's try with Okay, so there's one more thing that we need to do to have a better animation, and that is to make the sticks fade out faster. So instead of calling fade out, we can fade to opacity instead, which is another method which I have written, which allows you to specify what percentage of transparency do you want for your objects, and at what speed do you want it to fade to that opacity. Okay, duration, let's say if we want it 0.15. Okay, we want it to fade out. Our target opacity is 0. per second. Okay, maybe 0.2 per second. Okay, so for the moment, okay, stars is just going to be on PC/Windows, Mac and Linux. Okay, so for the moment I will not be using Xcode, but if in the near future when stars is ported to mobile, then yes, I will be streaming Xcode. Oh.